Since starting these videos, I've gotten a few requests about this topic. So let's talk tethering. To break it down, all you need is a camera, a cable, and a computer. And then ask yourself, would you like to view your image like this or like this? This is Tethering 101. Let's roll that intro. Okay, for some of the pro photographers out there, this will be a little remedial, hence the 101 in the title. But for the rest of us, let's just get down to it. All cameras these days should have a USB output of some sort. I've got two cameras here as examples, and they each have a different type of USB output. The D850 has a USB 3.0 output, and the Fuji GFX 100 has got the USB-C option. Older cameras will maybe have something in the USB 2.0 range, but they still work. That being said, newer is usually better. Now, to make this work, we will need a cable to connect between the camera and the computer. There's really only one show in town for these cables, in my opinion, and that's Tether Tools. You can visit their site and find pretty much any cable you would ever need. Most are priced from the $20 to $50 range. And if you're doing this as a hobby, you can get away with ordering one cable. But if you plan to tether in a commercial client-based setting, I would recommend at least two cables. As I mentioned in my camera case video, you need to practice the habit of having backups because these cables do wear out over time. Okay, while we're on the topic of connecting, Tether Tools has just released a new wireless option called Air Direct. It uses Wi-Fi to transfer images from your camera to the computer. And I believe it'll move the JPEGs fairly quickly, and the RAW files take several seconds to transfer. I haven't used this system, so I can't speak to how well it may work. Tether Tools, if you want to send me one, I'm happy to try it out. But for someone like myself who might be shooting action in bursts, it might not be able to keep up with my speed of capture. However, if you're a more deliberate shooter with more time between frames, while shooting RAW that is, it looks like it would be a pretty attractive option. Okay, to the computer, you're going to need one. Anything within the last several years running a somewhat current operating system should work just fine. I prefer to use a iMac when possible for its larger screen, but laptops are the default when I'm traveling further than I can pack this guy. Now on this computer, you're going to need some sort of capture software. I use Capture One currently, but way back in the day, I would tether straight into Lightroom, so those of you with the Adobe subscription should be covered. Now there are a couple other options, several of them lower priced, but I don't have any experience using those, but you can find those also on the Tether Tools website. Originally, but with the current state of things in the world, I was going to try and swing a photo shoot with my daughter and our new puppy to demonstrate tethering during the shoot. But let's just say, without someone else capturing video, things were a little hard to, well, you can get the idea. So let's just do a quick demo with an inanimate object to show how this works. And then for those who want to hang around, I'll show a little footage from yesterday where you can see the images coming across from the camera to the computer while tethering. And what the heck, I'll break down the lighting setup as well. Okay, so for this demo, I'm just going to use the Nikon D850 with the USB 3.0. I've got my USB 3.0 cable here from Tether Tools. I like the 90-degree angle connector. It's just a lower, slimmer profile on the side of the camera. So we're just going to hook this up to the camera, to the computer. I'll spin this around so it'll show exactly what we're catching here. And then I'll turn on these strobes and we'll just take a quick shot here, and if everything's working, it should pop up on the screen. So let's get to it. Show just how simple this is. Okay, for the connection, we'll just stick this in here. Show the overhead camera. So we just flip that panel back. It's a little awkward with this L bracket I've got on, but I didn't take the time to take it off. All right, and then we'll take this cord, bring it around back of the computer, plug it into our USB. And I'm running, as you can see here, I'm running Capture One. Now that we have the camera connected to the computer, we'll turn the camera on and we should see the camera information pop up here. Here we go. So right here, you can see we've got basically all of our settings. You can see them right here. You can adjust them here as well. We can actually take a shot. I believe this will open up live view. So you have some powerful tools here if you are locked down on the tripod, that type of thing, and you can work remotely off of this computer. So that's a whole nother option once you start tethering. Okay, so let's take a picture of this 6-pack of Coca-Cola. Let me spin this around and turn my strobes on. You might pick up some buzzing, little humming on my mic just because of these fans are running. And we'll rotate this around so you can see it in real time. And I'm obviously recording the screen as well. So here we go. Just as easy as that. I'll move around, we can change angles. I do have a light on that background there, which kind of limits me in compositional sake, because you want to obviously keep it around that highlight. We can adjust in post, but as you can see, every time I take a shot, they immediately come over here to the screen. It's as easy as that. Connecting the cable to the camera, to the computer, turning it on, and you get your controls right there. You begin shooting, and right away, you've got your images over here. If you do have any other questions about this process, please feel free to drop them down below in the comments. And with what's going on in the world these days, if you're like me, you've got a little extra time, maybe go on Tether Tools, order a cable, hook it up to your camera and your computer, and grab something around your house and practice, kind of get to know the software a little bit. And next time you have a photo shoot, maybe you'll do it tethered instead of just relying on the back of your camera. So now we'll jump to what I had going on here yesterday when I was hoping to have a live, more of a live shoot to demonstrate tethering and what it's like to work with a 4-legged model, at least in studio. So here's a quick time lapse of my setup from yesterday. You can see I brought in this blue background that's now behind me. This is a constant light here, which I'm going to switch out, but an overhead strobe here, so that's light 1. I've got 2 rim lights here with reflectors, so that's lights 2 and 3. I brought 2 more lights in the front here with beauty dishes, and then another beauty dish here on this boom right here. So what you don't see here is I brought in another strobe, a ProPhoto D2 behind these boxes. Had it resting on a sandbag since my talent was so short. Even my little mini stand was too tall, but I had it resting back here and firing onto the background to give that round highlight on the background itself. So that's basically the setup from yesterday. Like I said, I shot tethered. I'll show some of that video now. And you can see some of the files coming across on the computer in the tethered capture. Okay, wrapping up, I hope this video might shine a light on the simplicity of tethering and remove some of those stigmas for those of you that have never tried it. Like I said earlier, if you have the time right now, go ahead, order a cable, and give it a try. If for some reason you don't have Lightroom, most other software, including Capture One, gives a free trial period to try things out. Oh, and I didn't even get into anything with the capture software itself. Maybe we can save that for another video. But just quickly, a couple of the main advantages using it are the ability to check your focus and overall image composition. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the 50 or so people who have subscribed in the last week or so. If you haven't, I invite you to hit the button down there if you enjoyed the content, or maybe something in my earlier videos. This video was also a result of subscriber feedback, so if you have some ideas for me, please drop them down below. You can always find me on Instagram and Twitter at QuantsPhoto. Stay safe out there, and I hope we can return to some sense of normal in the near future. In the meantime, I plan on doing my best to create informative content, and I'll be here in the next one.